Hello, today is vLENT number 13 and we are going through the Diary of St. Faustina, and today we are doing journal entries 442 until 491. So going back here in all the things I highlighted, there are two main parts that I wanted to discuss in this video today. The first is from journal entry number 481, where St. Faustina says, "Almost every feast of the church gives me a deeper knowledge of God and a special grace. That is why I prepare myself for each feast and unite myself closely with the spirit of the church. What a joy it is to be a faithful child of the church." And it goes on talking about the church. Now, what I especially liked was how she said, almost every feast of the church gives me a deeper knowledge of God. And that's so cool because that's exactly what they're supposed to do. That's the purpose of these feast days, of the lives of saints, and learning about them. They bring us closer to God. And so just the way she phrased it was pretty cool to me. And as a reminder to utilize these feast days as days to grow in holiness, to grow closer to Christ, and to get to know God more deeply and how he works in the lives of others. So that was a good reminder, especially there's just so many feast days coming up. I mean, we just had St. Patrick's Day, St. Joseph's feast day. So it's a good reminder for me anyway to pay attention to those days and use them as an opportunity to grow. All right, and the next thing I wanted to talk about was her journal entry 485, where she says, "I accept joy or suffering, praise or humiliation with the same disposition. I remember that one and the other are passing. What does it matter to me what people say about me? I have long ago given up everything that concerns my person." So very often we hear things like, don't worry about what people say about you, don't worry about what people think of you. But what we don't hear as often is this concept of accepting praise with the same disposition as accepting the negative things. So basically what happens to people sometimes, myself included, is people give us praise, they say good things, they give us a compliment, and we feel so happy and joyful and excited because it was a really nice thing of that person to say. So then somebody says something negative, and right away it can feel, it could just crumble your whole day. But if you learn to take praise, and of course you still appreciate and value it, and you can thank people when they do praise you or give you a compliment, but the key is to not let it overinflate your ego, but even just make you super giddy and make your day totally better just because somebody said a kind word. Because even in the positive manner, if you are training yourself, training your mind to determine your mood based upon somebody else's opinion, when there is a negative opinion, you will crumble, you will just lose it, because the negative stuff hurts a lot harder than the praise that you may get. So, well, of course, but so I love that. I accept joy or suffering, praise or humiliation with the same disposition. What a great reminder, because they're passing. They're just other people's thoughts. Those opinions, whether good or bad, do not matter. What matters is who we are in Christ. That's a big thing right now. Somehow, like, our culture is teaching us to find our identity in the thoughts, opinions, and words of other people. Perhaps it's heightened by social media, but I think it's something that's just part of human nature, just playing out in different ways. But when it comes to social media, I guess my thought in having a different disposition, because I used to be highly affected by likes and comments and stuff like that. Like if I posted something and it got a large amount of likes, I would want to tell my whole family about it and be really excited. And I just realized now that I'm thinking about this, I really don't do that anymore. It's been several years since I've been like that. And I'm trying to think what I did to change my mindset. I don't know. I guess I've just realized it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can't find your worth in likes. I don't know how else to say it other than that. Because all it is just a click. And I sometimes will think of myself and how I'll be half asleep and I'm just browsing on Facebook or something, and I'll just like click a button and not really fully care, and it doesn't mean that this person should find their worth in whether or not I liked that photo. Maybe I'm just not in the mood for that type of photo, or I didn't really get the joke, or I was tired. You know, it could be so many different things. So that's the same way people are when they're scrolling on my feed. You know, it's not necessarily like, well, I didn't like that picture and therefore I don't like her and I think she's ugly. Like, we're just internalizing things way too much. And I don't know. I'm trying to think what I did to not care. I don't know if I actively did anything. I don't even know if I prayed about it. I may have. I would say the biggest thing is to pray, to ask God to take that burden from you of caring what people think, of caring about likes. You know, just because Jesus was around thousands of years ago, and just because God has been around since the beginning of time and the existence of anything, doesn't mean he's not hip to technology. So you can pray and say like, Lord, please help me. I'm obsessed with getting, you know, likes on Instagram. Help me. You can say that to him. I think sometimes we try to like think that he doesn't understand technology or something, but he does. I mean, you can share that. He gets it. He's God. Hello. But and that's something I need to get better at, because I don't really call out social media things by name, I don't think. My neck is like all red. Oh. Sometimes my skin is not that sensitive, but sometimes if I like just even touch it, it'll get all red. So ignore that. Yeah, those are the two biggest things that came to my mind to talk about today. Is just I love her thoughts on so many things, and even though this took place years ago, I'm trying to see what year was this that she wrote all this. That was before internet became the way it is. So, but so many of these things are relevant to now. It's so cool with the internet being this totally obscure thing, that so many of the same principles that are these age-old matters still apply even with advancements in technology. Isn't that interesting? So that is all for today. I appreciate that you have watched this video, and if you are not currently a subscriber, please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, because so many things get lost on YouTube. You'll never find me again. And thank you for watching. Bye everyone.